Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am doing the Mommy Confessions tag. I was tagged by Blanca from the G Life. I will of course leave a link to her channel down below, and I will also leave links to some ladies that I'm going to tag down below as well. So check down there to see if I've tagged you. And if I didn't tag you, you can of course do this tag as well if you want to. So it looks like there is 25 questions, so we're gonna get right into it. So question 1 is, you're standing with another mom at the playground and you notice her underwear is showing. Do you tell her? What do you say? Honestly, and I'm gonna be honest about this, I probably would not tell her. I'm like really shy. I have pretty bad social anxiety, and honestly I probably wouldn't tell her, which is really mean. I would hope someone would tell me, but maybe I wouldn't because it's kind of embarrassing. I don't know, but unfortunately I would not tell her. Number 2, if you had a 25-hour day and everyone else still only had 24, what would you do with the extra time? Sleep. And that's just that's it. I would sleep. I'm not even getting into it. I would sleep. 3, is there a food that you think is really gross but you make your kids eat it because it's good for them? So Colton is just kind of starting to eat food, so he's doing baby-led weaning, so he is supposed to eat like everything that we eat, but I do sometimes mix some vegetables into different foods that we're eating. So like if we're having pasta and we didn't have like a lot of vegetables in the pasta because I'm a picky eater, I will put some like broccoli or something in with like the pasta that he's eating. So I do that. So I don't really like what is something I give him? Like green beans, that's one thing that I do for sure. So like if we're having something like pasta, like I said, or sometimes if we're eating lunch and I'm having something with vegetables in it, I'll put like extra things like the long green beans, like I have them in like a frozen bag, I'll mix those in with his food, so things like that. I'm not the hugest vegetable fan, so I do make him do that, and I will continue to do that. Luckily Kenny will eat way more vegetables than I will, so once he's older, Kenny will kind of be the one who eats those foods with him. If you were stranded with your kids, what are 3 things you hope you'd have on hand? Well, Colton is only almost 10 months, so I would definitely need diapers and wipes because you know why. And I guess I would have to say formula because he would need food. So unless those are all givens, then some kind of toys, hopefully like my phone because he could like watch the Wiggles or something, and like water, or like if that's all a given though, I don't know. Food, I just need food. I'm always hungry, so I just want food. Number 5 is, what kids show do you wish you could eliminate so that no mom ever has to sit through it again? Caillou. Colton is never allowed to watch Caillou. I hate Caillou. It drives me crazy. That kid annoys me. I'm sorry that if you like Caillou, I would eliminate that 100%. I wish that there was a way, because I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix, and I wish there was a way on Netflix for you to just like tell them like you don't want certain things to show up, because once he's like kind of old enough to know how to like work the remote and stuff, like what if he sees Caillou and is like, what is this? I don't want him to watch Caillou. It drives me crazy. So Caillou. At what age did your kids stop embarrassing you and you started to embarrass them? Colton's only like 10 months old, so he doesn't really embarrass me. He's a baby. If he cries, like it's whatever. Poor Kenny though is like not used to him like having like a freak out in a store yet, like I am, because I take him for walks and stuff. But he did have like a little bit of a breakdown at Walmart the other day when we were like waiting in line to pay, and Kenny was like, I'm gonna go to the car, and it's like, just calm down, like give him a snack or something, he's fine. But I cannot wait to embarrass him when he's being bad, because that's something that my mom used to do when we were kids. If we were like acting up in a store, she would, and this is not even a lie, she would sing Rod Stewart songs at like the top of her lungs. I vividly remember it in Sears once. I was like flipping out about something. I wanted something shoes, I think she said, or something, and she started belting out a Rod Stewart song that like, if you want my body and you think I'm sexy, I'm not kidding you, she was belting that out in the middle of Sears until I stopped screaming. So I can't wait to do that. Number 7 is, what's something in your house that for some reason only a mom's eyes can see? Dishes, laundry, laundry baskets, definitely. Luckily, Colton is young still, so I don't have this problem yet, but he's a boy, and I'm sure that, you know, he won't know where the laundry basket is, even though it's right there in the bathroom or in his room. And I'm sure he won't know where the sink is to put his dirty dishes in the sink. So, yeah, I don't know. What would you change about your favorite restaurant to make it more kid-friendly? Colton's only been to a few restaurants so far. We took him to Buffalo Wild Wings when he was really young, and he had like a total freak out, but we think that it was like a sensory overload thing because they have all those like screens and it was loud. There was like a hockey game on or something, or baseball. There was some kind of game going on, and he had like a total freak out, but it was super kid friendly. They were super nice there. The washrooms are actually really quiet, so we actually just took him into the washroom and like calmed him down in there. And he's been to Kelsey's a few times, which was great. They have really nice what are they called, like high chairs or whatever. I guess my only thing, and it's really with any restaurant, is the high chairs, because Colton is doing baby-led weaning. The high chairs aren't high enough, and so when he's in the high chair and you push it up against the table, he like can't really reach the table, or he can't really like, you can't put the food on the table for him to eat off of. And I know it's because he's really small still, but it's kind of frustrating. So I guess that would be for like any restaurant. Do you have a secret fear that you hide from your kids? Again, he's really young, so I don't really have any, well, my like serious fear, and actually this just happened the other day, I don't like bugs. It's so ridiculous, but I hate bugs. Spiders, any bugs with like tons of legs. Like I don't care about like flies or whatever. I did get stung by a bee in the summer last year when I was like bringing our stroller into the house one day, so I am like so over bees too now. But yeah, so the other day we were in Colton's room and I was putting away, no, what was I doing? I was packing up the stuff, we were going out, and all of a sudden I like saw something move in the corner of my eye, and I turned and looked, and it was like a huge millipede, because it's kind of the time of year that like those things start coming out, and I just about died. I like scooped him up, grabbed the stuff that I was getting ready, and I like ran out of the room, shut the door, like I wanted to die. Like I hate bugs, so that's probably something that I guess I'll have to like hide from him once he's kind of old enough to understand bugs, that like you don't have to be absolutely terrified of them, but maybe I'll train him to like kill the bugs for me, and then I can still be afraid of them. So number 10 is, if there was one mommy duty that you would never have to do again, what would it be? Dishes. I hate doing dishes. I always have. It was kind of one of the chores that I did once in a while when I was a kid. I try to make it as bearable as possible. I'll watch like YouTube videos, or I'll listen to music or whatever, but I hate doing dishes. Like if it wasn't horrible for the environment and like way too expensive, and I think I've said this before, like I would literally use like paper plates and like plastic cups and stuff. Yeah, I hate doing dishes. Number 11, if someone showed up to your house unannounced, what's the one room you'd be embarrassed for them to go in? Sometimes my kitchen, because it depends on the time of day. I usually only do dishes like after dinner, so like our breakfast dishes, our lunch dishes, like Colton's bottles, Colton's like bibs and stuff, they'd be like all over the counter until like after dinner, and that's when I do the dishes, because Kenny's usually home, and so he'll sit and play or like watch a TV show or whatever with Colton, and then I have time to like clean the kitchen. And then I guess like our back room, yeah, because our back room is like kind of just full of stuff right now. It's like a storage room. If you guys hadn't seen my basement cleaning video, I just posted that the other day. That would have been embarrassing before. It's way better now, but that would have been definitely one of the ones I'd be embarrassed about. So number 12, describe a time when you did something really silly because lack of sleep. I don't know. I don't think I've done anything absolutely ridiculous. Like I've been out of it some days. Like I can't even like talk sometimes. Like when Colton was first born, and he still isn't really sleeping through the night, but when he was first born it was really bad, and like you'd be so out of it, you like were delirious. So I don't know if I've done anything like totally ridiculous though because of lack of sleep. I don't know. What's the last thing you bribed your kid to do? Colton's probably too young for bribery, other than like sometimes if he's totally flipping out, which like I know you're not really supposed to do, but I'll hand him like a baby mum or like a cookie or whatever just to kind of get him to calm down. And I know you're not really supposed to do that, but sometimes, you know, when you're right in the middle of doing something, like this morning I was trying to wash up his bottles because they were all dirty and he needed a bottle. He was like flipping out, screaming at me. So I like handed him a cookie so he would like calm down, but I guess that's all I can really bribe him with right now. 14, what's something that you used to wear before you had kids that you wouldn't wear now? Not anything really. I mean, I still wear short shorts. Well, I'm not right now because it's freezing outside, but like after I had Colton, I still wore short shorts. It's hot here in Canada in the summer. It's hot. It's freezing in the winter, but I'm not the type to be like, oh, I'm not wearing that because like I'm a mom now. I mean, I don't ever have like my boobs all hanging out, but that's really like never been my thing. So I don't know, I don't really have anything I guess that I wouldn't wear. What's the last thing you told your kid not to touch? Everything. We've tried to baby proof as much as possible, but Colton's 10 months old, so he's gonna touch whatever he wants to touch. Okay, 16, if you could choose if your kids went to bed earlier at night or slept later in the morning, which would you pick? Sleep later in the morning for sure. Colton already goes to bed pretty early because he's so young. He goes to bed at like 7. So that's fine with me. It gives me time to tidy up his toys and then like work on videos or watch a movie with Kenny or whatever. But sometimes he wakes up super early in the morning and I'm like not a morning person. So yeah. 17, which was harder for you, potty training or sleep training? We haven't done potty training yet, so I don't know. Sleep training hasn't really worked out either. He does sleep in his crib. Sometimes he only wakes up once a night, but sometimes he's up multiple times a night. And when I say multiple times a night, that sometimes means he's up for like an hour at a time. So sleep training didn't really work for us. We did try cry it out. We tried controlled cry it out. We tried a few different things. Nothing worked. He's probably the, like, you know, that 1% when they say like it works for 99% of babies. He's probably that 1% of babies that it doesn't work for. So sleep training was hard. 18, if you could share 3 pieces of advice with your younger self before having kids, what would they be? Save your money, because I like to spend money. Oh my gosh. 3 pieces of advice. Save your money. Pay attention in school, because I was good at school. I just was lazy and didn't want to do school. I did graduate and I graduated from college, but I just didn't like it. And get your license, because I am now almost 28 years old and I don't have my license. Luckily we have a very good transit system here and we live really close to different things, but I don't have my license. So there's a fun fact about me. So I wish that I had just done it when I was 16, just done it and got it all over and done with, but I didn't. 19, what question might your kid ask you that you aren't ready to answer? I mean, I could get like really like, I don't know. There's all different things, you know. Who's really ever ready to have like the sex talk with their kids? I don't know, no one. That's probably gonna be more for Kenny to deal with because he's a boy. But maybe more of like a death type thing. Kenny's mom passed away a few years ago, so she obviously never had the opportunity to meet Colton, and Colton vice versa never had the opportunity to meet her. So maybe that'll be a harder question to answer once the time comes. You know, maybe he'll be curious as to why he only has one grandparent, or you know, something like that. So I think death is probably a hard question to answer, and how that all works and why people die. Question 20 is, which household chore do you prefer your kid not to help out with? Colton doesn't help with chores, but if you guys have ever watched some of my like laundry folding videos, he tries to help. But definitely would be laundry. If and when the time comes that he shows any interest in helping with chores, it won't be laundry. I'm like super OCD about the way things are folded and the way things are put away, and so I will not want him to help with laundry. 21, would you rather the entire household get sick all at once or one by one? That's hard. So there's only 3 of us. And Colton has been sick, and I'm trying to decide if I'd be like cool with being sick at the same time as him, or would I rather have it at a different time? I want to say either one. Maybe all at the same time, just to get it all over with. If I had multiple kids though, I don't know how I would think about that. 22, if you're rushing to go somewhere with your kid, what are you most likely to forget? God, I forget things all the time. Kenny's the worst for that though. Kenny is like the forgetful person. He like loses his keys and his wallet all the time. Me, what would I forget? I don't know. Sometimes I forget to like throw the like an extra change of clothes in his diaper bag for him. I've done that a few times, which isn't a huge deal, but if you are like out and don't have something and you have an emergency, then you're gonna have to like buy something. I don't know. So maybe that would be my answer. So I guess an extra change of clothes. So 23 is, what song or movie title best describes your experience as a mom? Oh my God. Is there a song called like Overwhelming Chaos? Because that would be it. I don't know. Experience as a mom. Like, it's really funny because I like to watch, what was that movie called? What to Expect When You're Expecting. And there's like, everyone wants to be that like one girl who's like super skinny and like she barely looks like she's pregnant and she like sneezes or coughs or whatever and the baby pops out. Like, that's not real. I'm I'm that other girl who is like dying her entire pregnancy, even though she did like all the research and she was so smart and like thought she knew everything about having a baby and like how pregnancy was gonna be, but she was like literally death the whole time. And then I thankfully didn't have to have this, but she had like an emergency C-section and like her whole thing was just like a mess. And I feel like that is how like my whole pregnancy and like birth experience was everything just went wrong. I had an epidural but it failed, and I had a natural birth, like obviously, but oh my God, that would probably be it. So I'd be like that chick from What to Expect When You're Expecting. Is that what it's called? I think that's what it's called. Number 24 is, what's the most embarrassing personal care item you've had to buy in a store? I don't know. Like that like wash, the feminine wash, but doesn't everybody buy that? What would be an embarrassing personal care item? Like those giant pads that you have to use after you have a baby, maybe those. Or like, yeah, like that's probably all. Those giant pads or like the feminine wash, but I feel like everybody has to do that, so it's really not that embarrassing. I just try to go to like a female cashier, or if you're the type of person who wants to be like awkward, you go to the male cashier to make it awkward. I'm cool with that. So the final question is number 25. What's one thing you've said to your kid that you never expected to say? I haven't had an experience like that yet because I haven't actually had to like speak to him in a way that he like has to like listen to something I'm saying, I guess. So maybe I'll get back to you on that one. I don't know about that one. But yeah, that was the Mummy Confessions tag. Thank you, Blanca, for tagging me. Again, I will leave Blanca's link down below, and then a couple links to ladies that I'm gonna tag in this video because I would love to see them try this out. I love tags, so let me know down below if there's any other going around that I haven't done yet. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button if you like this video, and if you're new, be sure to hit the subscribe button down below and the little bell notification. That'll let you know every time I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.